Hi everyone, my name is Ed Fox and welcome to this free intro class on how to create a powerful meditation practice or how to give your meditation practice a boost and get it back on track. One of the reasons why people stop meditating is because they experience something that doesn't seem to be what they were expecting. Maybe too much thinking, too much thought, maybe mental agitation, maybe physical sensations that they weren't expecting. A lot of times people are learning to meditate from a book where there isn't a lot of information other than the actual technique of what to do. Some people find meditation teachers that teach you how to meditate but don't give you the fundamental dynamics of what we are invoking when we start a meditation practice, or a self-awareness practice for that fact. So in this first video, I'm going to use all of the experience that I have, my 50 years of meditating and teaching meditation, and I'm going to share with you some very powerful fundamentals that we will then take into action in video 2 and show how these dynamics apply to meditation. And in video 3, we're going to talk about how a few of these powerful dynamics are involved in meditation and self-awareness practices, and how self-awareness practices benefit meditation and vice versa. So let's begin. Most of you, if you've been meditating for a while and have stopped because you don't understand or don't believe that it's working. Well, what are you judging? What experience are you judging to determine whether it's working or not? Many people think that they should feel this expanded awareness immediately, or they should feel a deep, deep quiet within. That's not always necessarily the case. And so one of the most profound dynamics that gets involved in meditation is what I like to call the natural tendency of the mind. And let's get started with that. What is the natural tendency of the mind? Well, other than to think, that's what the mind does, there's a imprint in every thought where the mind moves to places and to circumstances that are more and more pleasing. It's very common that you could be watching a video like you're doing right now, and then your mind will jump to that great date you have tonight with this new woman you met in your life. And you wonder, why did that happen? Am I so shallow that I can't listen to this video? And you might blame yourself for the mind shifting its direction completely. But yet the mind did it automatically. And there's a process and a dynamics behind that, which beckons us to understand. And that's what I call the natural tendency of the mind. This natural tendency of the mind is that the mind will always move to greater fields of greater joy, happiness, and attraction, so to speak. That's why it takes effort to stay focused on something, say reading a book or watching a video, when other things are going on around you. They naturally attract you. They take your attention. The eye senses a movement and says, what's that? Is that more powerful? Is that more enjoyable? What's going on there? What did that person say? I need to know that. Maybe it's important. The mind is always searching for more joy, more happiness, something new, something exciting. This is one of the natural tendencies of the mind. And we use this natural tendency of the mind in meditation. But you'll have to wait till video 2 for me to go into that in depth. because the process of meditation is redirecting the mind from the outward senses to the inner self. And we use that natural tendency so that it becomes as natural as thinking a thought to meditate, which will allow the meditation to be easy and more comfortable. When we know how the mind works, and we can use a natural tendency of the mind to meditate or practice an awareness technique, then the level of effort in the technique is minimal. When the level of effort in any technique is minimal, it's therefore more enjoyable. It's more peaceful. And while we all want to believe that meditation should be a peaceful process, a peaceful journey, sometimes it's not. It's not. And the reason why it's not is because of another powerful dynamics that involves the mind and body when we meditate. And that dynamics I like to call the mind-body coordination. The mind-body coordination says that there is a balance between our senses and our nervous system. That there's a balance between what we think and what we feel in our body. For example, if you're out and you watch someone trip and fall, what happens to your body? It tenses up. You're tensing up because you're feeling into what's happening to that person. They're going to fall and it's going to hurt. And your body starts to protect itself, but your body's not falling. Why did that happen? Did you ever think about that? This is the dynamic of mind-body coordination. And what it says is that between the mind and the body, there must be a balance of activity. If the mind goes into a level of rest, the body must follow. We find this to be true. And if the body goes into a level of rest, the mind will follow the body. Each one, whichever takes the lead, is going to initiate a new direction, more activity, less activity. And the other counterpart will have to follow. This is why yoga is so relaxing. In yoga, you're not relaxing the mind, you're stretching and relaxing the body, and the mind follows. In meditation, it's just the opposite. In meditation, the mind leads by going in, closing the eyes, and doing one or another form of meditation. But it's a mental technique. And as the mental technique goes in and quiets the mind, the body gets quiet. They've measured monks and sadhus in India meditating. They close their eyes, they do a mental process, and their mind gets quiet, and their blood rate goes down, blood lactate goes down, oxygen consumption goes down, respiratory goes down. It's a proven fact that the mind going in can lead the body to deep levels of rest. This is the powerful dynamic of the mind-body coordination. Again, something that's not in a great book that someone should write called The Science of Meditation. Here's what happens in meditation. Here's what you can expect. And here's why it happens, and here's why it's a good thing. And here's why, if it happens to you, don't get bummed out and feel that your meditation isn't working, that your meditation isn't correct. These dynamics are so natural to us. We don't learn as a child we're not taught in school that our attention should drift to something more interesting. Our attention, our mind is not, We wake up in the morning and we don't say to ourselves, today I'm going to have a great day. Well, we may say that, but we don't say, today I'm not going to have a good day. We don't get up and say, today I'll stub my toe or get into a car accident, as crazy as that sounds. No, we naturally wake up and want more and more. This natural tendency of the mind is so powerful. And it wasn't learned, it was instilled in us. It's wired. If wiring is not a great way of saying it, it's wired into us. It's so natural that trying to make an effort to improve it only worsens it. That's why meditation and mindfulness techniques should always be easy and smooth and comfortable. While the results and sensations in the body and the mind may be different, the process should be smooth and easy. But we've gotten away from the naturalness of our own wiring, and we've relied more on what I might call our natural tendency to think, to figure things out, to want to know, to go into the realm of the ego and have the ego figure out what's going on. So, one more example, I just can't resist it. Falling asleep. Does anyone know how to fall asleep? Is there a secret to falling asleep? No, you just kind of relax, you let go, and you fall asleep. If you tried to fall asleep, what would happen? The trying to fall asleep would keep you awake, because trying does not help. This is the point that I'm trying to make in this video, that these natural tendencies of the mind and the body, these two that I'm going to talk about in these 3 videos, how they are so natural that all we need to do is set them in motion, and they will ensure that our meditations are successful. Now, in video 2 and 3, we'll talk about what are some of the signposts of successful meditations. It may not be what you actually think it's going to be, but all the same, it's a powerful, powerful, powerful teaching. So let's just quit here for a moment, and I'll see you in video 2, and we'll go right into meditation. We'll go right into how can I make my meditation more powerful, get it back on track, feel more in sync with my meditation, so that get back that old feeling of I'm doing this okay, I'm doing this right, it's working, I understand how it works now, and now I feel solid in my practice. Okay? See you in video 2. Thank you.